Hello, hello, and welcome to another edition of Choose the Challenge. I am LaWanna Bradford, and I am so excited because I have two special guests here joining me today. You may notice a familiar face, none other than the amazing, dynamic Nancy Matthews. How's it going, Nancy?
It's going so good, and I am really looking forward to our conversation today. I think this could be the first time, like we've done some interviews, but I know this is going to take us some really cool places. So thank you, LaWanna.
Yes, and you have a handsome gentleman next to you, none other than Mr. Barry Auchettl. How's it going, Barry?
Really good. Looking forward to today. And I'm also excited about what's going to come out of today as well. We'll probably learn something about ourselves today as well.
Usually happens.
Well, today I was toying with what should the title of the show be? And I thought synergy in action, creating a partnership that changed the game. And the reason why I picked that, and I want to tell the audience a little bit about both of you, is you were both in totally different lanes, doing your thing, rising like shooting stars, touching the world, making an impact, but from two different parts of the world.
Opposite ends of the world.
Ends, right? You in the U.S., and Barry in Australia.
Yeah.
Nancy Matthews, for those of you who have followed her and have seen her on our platform, is the founder of Women's Prosperity Network, as well as the People Skills Academy. She is known as a visionary with guts and has a passion to help entrepreneurs to level up their game, to find a way to create influence, impact, and income, but by doing so, living in their purpose. And she's also a best-selling author with numerous books behind her name, including the amazing book called The One Philosophy. And if you haven't read that book, little book, great results and big results, go to Amazon.com, The One Philosophy by Nancy Matthews. It's a great read, and it really challenges you to do some of that self-work so that you can show up in a true loving way for humanity. And then, drum roll, Mr. Barry Auchettl. He is from Australia, as we already mentioned, and he also is a transformationalist, but he's known as the Blockbuster. So we're going to get into these two titles that they have for themselves. Barry is also known to help individuals break through barriers to achieve optimal health, to find their purpose, and to amass wealth. And we know many people are struggling with that. But in addition to that, he's a speaker, he's a teacher, he's an author, and he's a producer and star in the movie entitled Vision 2020 from Eyesight. So a lot of great stuff here that we're going to unpackage during our short time here together. So I'm going to start with you, Nancy, and then Barry, you just jump right in. You all have these titles. Why are you the visionary with guts, and why Blockbuster?
So I'm the visionary with guts because my sister Susan actually gave me that name. She dubbed me. When we were just starting Women's Prosperity Network back in 2008. We were hosting an event, and Susan introduced me to come up and before I was speaking. And she said, I want to bring up my sister Nancy. I call her a visionary with guts. And I was like, what is she talking about? It didn't make any sense to me. She went on to say, lots of people have vision, but few have the guts to go for it. And I was like, whoa, because I never thought of myself as gutsy. I just did the next thing that seemed like the next right move, whether it was being single and deciding to have a child on my own, whether it was quitting my job and becoming an entrepreneur as a single mother, like all these things I've done. And when I look back over time, I was like, oh, I guess that was gutsy. Was it gutsy or nutsy? I don't know. And the truth of it is, what I've realized is, yes, I've had guts, but guts moving forward happen best when you are supported by amazing people who believe in you, who support you, and want to see you succeed as much for yourself, more so than even for them. So having that community, which is why I love what you've created with this show and Celebrate You and all the strategic insights. Like, we need others to fill us up and fuel us to fly as the visionaries that we're all meant to be.
Wow, that's awesome.
I love that. And when you were talking about just the show and Celebrate You, it was born out of our relationship.
Yeah.
And you giving me space to show up in a very unique way and to be the first stage to amplify LaWanna's voice. So I was no longer the brand behind the brand, but coming forward. So that also speaks to the importance of synergy in relationship and people seeing the greatness in you before you even see it in yourself.
Mm-hmm. I love, if I'm going to pull an aside, I've seen, might be your intro reel or on your speaker website. I was like, oh, that picture was at one of our events. That picture was when she was speaking for us. I'm like, yes.
Yes, always a salute to the beginnings.
It makes me so happy to see people living in their fullness and living in their purpose. And because that makes me so happy, I think that's a reason this synergy happened. So, Mr. Blockbuster.
Thank you. Look, it's really interesting. I mean, visionary with guts. And I have spent the last 30 years working with vision. And in actual fact, my first business was called Eye Power, and it was about how to improve your physical eyesight. And I soon realized that other than exercises, the biggest change we could do to people is look at what is it they're not seeing. And so I really specialized in this area of what is it you're not looking at and what are the subconscious blocks that stop you from achieving that. And then about 10 years ago, I actually created a technique called light body alignment, where I can literally, and sometimes people talk about clicking your fingers, but literally in the matter of a minute, I can clear subconscious blocks that may have stopped a person from succeeding in their entire life. And it has literally changed my life, and it's changed the lives of the thousands of people I've worked with. And coming together with Nancy was, in so many ways, our synergy kept fitting in terms of she has Visionaries with Guts, and I now have a school called the Vision School, which we're about to rename, by the way, as Life Vision Academy. And this importance of vision, we both see the importance of vision, not only in our lives, but in the lives of others. And I love, again, what you're doing with your intro. It's about sharing the light with others so that they can be the light and then share that with others and then pass that on.
I love that. I want you to break something down for our audience, because some individuals may be hearing certain terminology for the first time, and you talked about blocks and subconscious blocks.
Sure.
Help individuals who may have heard it but don't really know, what does that mean? How do I even know that it's there? And then how do you uncover it and help me get rid of it?
So the way to identify it a lot of times is in our language. People will say, I don't deserve to do that, or I'm not good enough to be that way. And sometimes it's subconscious, but I can generally hear it in people's language when they say things. And when they say something like, I don't deserve to be as good as I can be. And I'm like, why not? I think we didn't come to this planet to make up numbers. We came here to make a difference.
Well, if I could, some of those blocks, and, I don't deserve to do that, come from programming when we're children. This is a good one. Who do you think you are? I'm Nancy freaking Matthews. But it took me a long time to get there, to be able to own that. And I think these blocks that we have and these beliefs that are in there are, don't get your hopes up. Who do you think you are? It's old programming that came from people who were feeling defeated, people who were struggling and didn't think they could get ahead, people who had no faith in remembering whose they are as well as who they are.
So I ended up doing kinesiology as a way of clearing these, subconscious blocks that were stopping us from moving ahead. And sometimes they were even conscious blocks, and people knew it, but they still had to keep going. They still were going not uphill all the time instead of downstream.
Define kinesiology. Some people may not know that one.
Well,
Yeah.
again, kinesiology is the use of muscle testing. So you may have been to somewhere where they'll put an arm out and we get a resistance of the hand as a lock or an unlock. And what I've done with that is created that with all the various healing modalities that I've done, and recognize at the end of the day, it's spiritual energy. That's what I work with. And this energy system that I created literally shifts the energy in the body, around the body, we call auras. Scientists call electromagnetic energy around us. We all give it different names. But these light body energy fields are the store, all these stores, like I'm not good enough, who do you think you are? I can't see, I don't deserve to see, I don't want to see what's going on. And when we can shift those and really allow the body to shift it, people have had instant results, not just in how they live. They've even had instant results in their physical eyesight. They've had instant results where literally within 20 minutes, there was one particular man who had, his parents had disowned him 30 years ago for being gay, didn't want to have anything to do with him. And he cleared the block around his parents not loving him. And this is literally on a replay of one of the calls on the Vision School. So I wasn't even doing this live. This is on a replay. 20 minutes later, his parents rang him. And not only did they reunite, they gifted him $30,000 to get through COVID, to make sure he'd get through.
Wow.
And the real gift is not even that. The real gift is that 12 months later, he passed away knowing that he was actually reunited with his parents. That's the change you get to see in people's lives.
That's powerful. And what you said is, I mean, you're working on a spiritual plane, we are mind, body, spirit. And it's like I always tell people, like, even though we're not physically in the same space, energetically, spiritually, we're connected, we're present.
Totally.
And through your work, it's like light called onto like, and the parents reached out and united. I mean, that's pretty profound.
Yeah.
And then the other area that I found in working with this is there's this area of what we call vibration and frequency. And that for some people, they use the words the same. And what I do is I recognize that vibration is really our inner connection to spirit, our level of consciousness, if you like. And our frequency is a bit like the law of attraction. How can we attract money, relationships, our life, our health, all those life type things? And it made me understand in my own personal experience where I was really working on my vibration and meditating every day, but I was out of a relationship, my life sucked, I had no money, like what was going on here? And you had other people who were doing no meditations making lots of money. In other words, they had a high frequency and a low vibration. And the goal for me and with the people I work with is to raise both. We want to raise our vibration so we have a spiritual or higher impact in the world and we feel that stronger connection with ourselves and with others. And we want to raise our frequency where we get to attract things like relationships in our life. And so only by raising my frequency can I meet someone like Nancy. She's not going to handle anyone just turn out and say, oh, come on. She needs someone who's going to have a high frequency, high vibration to come in. Really straightforward. You all know that, don't you?
Let me ask you this. So the work that you do, what type of people do you find are naturally gravitate to you? Or is it something that you feel anyone, no matter where you are in the world, this could apply? And let me say why I preface this. Yep. Is because when we are in your advanced countries. And this is Choose the Challenge. So it's easy for us to speak at a certain level to a certain audience. But then we know that there's impoverished people, mentally oppressed people around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Is this for everyone, or is it only for those that are quote unquote in the know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, look, I get that. And it has started that way. Like the reality is those English-speaking countries, Western worlds, who have been attracted to it. What we're aiming to do, we actually have a whole team now, and part of it is to translate this into Spanish, for example, so that we can take it to countries which are non-English speaking, cannot afford it. And so my belief ultimately, and we've set up a 501c3 so that ultimately anyone can have access to this information. And part of that includes things like a YouTube channel where people can access a lot of the information for free. So people can take whatever level. If they want to dive in deeper, they can see us individually. However, both of us are going to say, we want to make sure that this information is available for everyone. And so having it on YouTube, and the movie that we created, Vision 2020 from Eyesight to Insight, was actually translated into Spanish, so that a lot of Spanish people now are actually getting out of glasses because of a movie that we made in 2020.
Yeah. Can I jump
I'm
in
sorry,
on
let me
that?
just say this. I love what you're saying, because I know, Barry, you've spoken in 10 countries. Women's Prosperity Network is 100,000 strong around the world. So I was just wondering, what is the ultimate vision? And I love hearing that you've got this divine message and way, if you will,
Sure.
that can empower so many people. And to those that are listening, we're here on Choose the Challenge with Nancy Matthews and Barry Auchettl, and we are talking about how you can raise your vibration and your energy level to have the fulfilled life that you weren't meant to have. And I want you to not think that you aren't enough or not worthy and deserving to lean in and really soak in this message. So back to you, Nancy and Barry.
I wanted to add into this piece of the conversation. We talk about, Barry mentioned vibration and frequency, right? And I think that combination is the magic sauce, where we combine our faith in a higher power, in God's source universe, that we are meant to be able to prosper in this life and be kind and loving and generous and wealthy, so we could be more generous, and the skill set of actually doing so, right? It's not one or the other. They must go together. And I think in different parts of the world, faith and belief is much higher than skill set or opportunities that they have. And in the United States, opportunities and skill set are higher than faith.
Right.
The beautiful synergy comes when both of those are married, coupled together for the highest and best of all concerned. And that's really kind of what ended up happening with us, coming together, not just in, relationship, but now in business partnership as well, combining our gifts and our skills to bring this to more people.
And it's a woven aspect, because sometimes it's like I'll provide the spiritual work and then Nancy will come in with the skills required. And then at other times, Nancy just has this sort of like grounding, settling process. And then I can come in and go, look, maybe these things might support you with it. Yeah. So it isn't necessarily that I do one and Nancy does the other, but we come in and out like a dance as needed to support the people we work with.
Yeah, I love that. And that's what partnership is all about, right? Sure. It's knowing the roles and when to leverage your strengths when you need to. And I want to ask you, when we're talking about wealth and prosperity, if you both can, and I'm going to assume you both have the same vision of what that means. Otherwise, your partnership would be a little challenged.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about wealth and prosperity, what does that look like for you personally, and then the impact that you want to have on the world? So when it's all said and done and you look back, what change do you want to see in the world when it comes to wealth and prosperity?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go
Oh,
for it.
good. This is my favorite topic. So first of all, I believe me being wealthy is not about just me being wealthy for me. It's a sign that I've helped millions of people. And so the idea is if I'm not wealthy, it's really hard to get the message out there in the first place because it costs money to get a lot of these messages out there. So
Right.
I really want to be wealthy so that A, I can be an example for others. B, I really enjoy being wealthy. And C, it helps to get the message out there. But that's the thing. My personal why for coming with Nancy is some of the work that we do within 12 months, we know that gives people the vibration that they have an impact on the planet of 10 million people. Just think about that. How would you like to have an impact of 10 million people? And that doesn't mean that we know 10 million people. That means that just by our presence, even in a supermarket, sometimes can uplift the people in the supermarket that they would then go home and uplift their family rather than going home and taking that negative energy there. And my personal goal is if we can train, and we're well over, personally, I'm well over 200 already. I just need 700 people to get to that level. And then we've had a positive impact on the entire planet. So my intent is to leave a legacy where I know that my work has touched every person on this planet, which is why some of this is about translating the work, not just in English, but translating in other countries. And we've even got a person who can, Chinese person who's done the program, is looking at translating it there so that this can go across the world.
I love what you just said, and I believe when you change one life, you just change the next generation. So it's like people who haven't even been born yet. If what you two are doing is able to shift that mindset and how people show up, that's powerful.
Yeah.
And they talk about clearing some of the work that we clear. We talk about clearing it 7 generations back.
Wow.
Like if you think about something like, I feel manipulated, everyone's manipulating me. And then you might find my mother and my father were really manipulative. That's where I got it from. But that's only 50% of each of them. And their parents might be 25% of manipulation. And by the time you go back 7 generations, it's only 1%. It's really minor. And this tiny little manipulation that might have started 7 generations ago gets built and built and built and built. So when we get to clear it, and sometimes we can clear it right back 7 generations, we actually also clear it 7 generations plus forward. So as you said, we're clearing a different life for our children, for our grandchildren, and for their children we don't even know about yet.
As you were, I'm going to let Nancy comment, but I just wanted to say this as you were talking, Barry. I thought about the scripture that says the sins of the father will fall on the next generation. Yeah. And so by you being able to go back and clear and then cast that forward, that's huge, right? When we think about alcoholism and other things in abuse, right? That keep spiraling in families.
40 years ago, I did a theology degree, and about 10 years ago, I was ordained. And then 5 years ago, we've set up a church called Visionaries of Light. And so our goal is to be visionaries of light, as beacons of light for other people, for them to be a light as well. And that's what
be the one.
Be the one. I actually have a book.
Fits together once again.
I actually have a book called One Vision, would you believe? And
you can't make this up, my friends.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So for anybody watching who's thinking, what is this about going back 7 generations and 7 generations forward? Like, there's somebody thinking that right now. I know that because that used to be me, just so you know. And I learned that just like eye color, hair color, diseases, the traumas that happened in generations in my ancestry, it gets locked in our body. It's an energetic lock in our body that can also be passed down generation to generation. And once I realized that, like, oh, there is a psychosomatic connection between what we feel and our physicalities. This is real. We all know that if you have a backache, when you're holding back, or when you get a headache, when you're stressed out, it's all connected. Well, that connection in your physical cellular structure does get carried generation to generation. So the clearings that we're able to do in, removing these energetic blocks set you free today because they're clearing something that may have happened in the past. So I wanted to share that, like I said, because somebody may be listening like, I don't know about that. But I've seen the difference that it's made for me, for clients I've worked with, in clearing some of this as well.
And I've seen it for thousands. And, we talk about eyesight as a simple example. Like I used to wear these really thick glasses, and in 6 months I got out of them. Again, this is 30 years ago. I got out of these really thick glasses. And yet we have a situation where over 90% of people over 50 are now wearing glasses. And no one's doing anything about it.
I know. I better take mine off too.
And we just accept this stuff. We just accept that, and it's the easy answer. We go and get glasses because that's the easy answer. Mm-hmm. And yet there's what's behind this. Because if you hurt your foot and you got crutches, and I said to you, well, you need to wear those crutches for the rest of your life, you probably get a second opinion.
That's true.
But our eyes, which really are our windows to our soul, allow us to connect to each other on a soul-to-soul basis. And we're just using ways now of disconnecting from each other because we're having glasses and sunglasses and anything that can stop us really connecting with each other. And the biggest illusion, I believe, on the planet is that we are separate. And glasses is just another way of showing that we're separate. We are not. The fact that I can connect with Nancy from 10,000 miles away and come and end up together with her, we are meant to be here. It's simple as that.
Are you ready to defy gravity and challenge the impossible? Meet LaWanna Bradford, the visionary leader behind Choose to Challenge on E360 TV. Now in its 5th season, this groundbreaking show shines a spotlight on voices of change from across the globe. Born during the pandemic, Choose to Challenge becomes a platform for transformation where no topic is off limits. Every episode highlights individuals breaking barriers, rewriting narratives, and making an impact. Ready to share your story and inspire change? Call 404-618-2824 to become a guest. This is your moment to rise. Tune in now at e360tv.com. Your voice matters. Let's change the world together.
Now, you both now define yourself as transformative visionaries. And so that's taking your two, I would say, complementary disciplines. Mm-hmm. Sometimes from what you were saying, it seems like you're in the same lane, yet different. Is that what it is? It's blending these two together and working in partnership, in tandem, to foster this change, this light walk for the world?
So imagine you hire a coach, and that coach is going to help you shift your limiting beliefs, change your way of thinking. And then you hire a different coach who helps you in your relationships, in your actual communication, whether it's in your family, work, business, marketing, messaging, and communication. Communication is everywhere, right? So imagine having both of those inside of one path. It produces greater results at a faster pace, and it also lasts because the next level of what you're seeking is done through a cohesive, holistic effort in the way that we work together with the combination of vibration, frequency. And what's interesting is, as we came together, first the relationship happened, and people who knew both of us were like, oh my gosh, you're powerhouses. I can't wait to see what you create together. And, Barry was really smart and by saying, well, let's make sure we've got a relationship here first before we jump into business together. And so we took our time, because creating something together needed to be something that you couldn't get individually.
The other thing I want to say is both of us were really successful in the work we were doing already in our lanes. So
Exactly.
it wasn't a matter of, I wanted to jump onto Nancy's lane or Nancy wanted to jump on my lane. And I just knew that if we were going to create something together, initially it had to be that 1 + 1 = 3. What I'm seeing now, it's more of a 1 + 1 = 11. That's how much change there is. And we've just completed a retreat in the last few weeks.
So good.
And I've run retreats for years, and Nancy's run retreats and events for years. And normally on a retreat, you would have a situation where there's always that 1 or 2 people in the room that just have that monster transformation over the weekend or the week or whatever it is, that they have there's always everyone goes, well, I wish I was that person that got the big transformation.
Right.
The amazing thing that happened is every person in the retreat had a major transformation.
Oh,
And I've
that's
never
impressive.
seen that before. Yeah, I've been involved with lots of work. I've partnered with lots of people. I've never seen the transformation occur for every person in the room that happened.
We should do that again.
We should.
Yeah, that's good.
That was fun.
Now, with these retreats, are they part of this entire training that you offer, or are they separate? Because I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that someone doesn't say, okay, let me be a part of this retreat. You come and that's all the work that's done, and you do nothing else.
So you can do that, and it'll be great, and you'll have an amazing experience, and you'll want to continue in some fashion. And you don't just take a shower one day, right? You want to keep showering. So shower yourself with inspiration and a community that goes right back to what we started in the beginning. You're going to walk out of this retreat feeling inspired and equipped and empowered and see new possibilities for yourself. And I promise there's some wall that's going to come, because it's just what happens. Right. Our job is to keep walking right through those challenges that occur. And our job as mentors is to support you to walk through them. Or sometimes you got to find another way. And that's okay too.
And part of it is examples. And I think with people, when they turn up, is that they see that the relationship that we have is like, I want that too. The number of people that said, that's what I'm after, And you guys are in your mid-60s and you've just found each other. Like, that gives us hope. I've heard that so often from so many people. And the reality, I think, with these retreats that obviously, are magical in themselves. I think the way that this is moving is people will either work with us for a while and come to a retreat, or come to a retreat and then choose to continue to work with us. And either way, they'll weave themselves in and out of allowing themselves to be what we talked about before, allow themselves to be a beacon of light.
Yeah. You use the word hope. And so this concept in this construct that you have as light bearers, are you messaging people on hope dreams, belief, or reality?
I wouldn't, for me personally, my aspect is hope, but not hope. And I really want to redefine hope for everyone, because when I first started using hope, or in my mind, I'm thinking like, I hope I win lotto this week. I hope this happens. And it's almost like wishful thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not actually, at a deeper level, hope is one of the greatest words I think we have in the language. And hope to me is a deeper knowing. So when I say I have hope for us and hope for the people, there's a much deeper knowing that this is going to occur. And that to me supersedes the possibilities or all the other aspects that occur there.
I'm a little different on that. I love that. And I think hope is a stepping stone towards belief. And it all depends on where you're at in this moment. So do you have hope for a better future? I could have hope for a better future, but beyond that would be belief in a better future, faith that everything is going to work out. So I think it's a continuum, depending upon where you're coming from.
It's a language thing too, though, because we're only saying the same thing. It's that
I know we
at the
speak
end of the day,
same language, you would think.
I actually speak two languages. I speak Australian and American. So hope, this knowing that what you're talking about, belief, is almost like this. You go this inner core knowing, where it just like it comes from here. Like I know, and I knew that I had to be in America. I knew when I met you that this is where we had to be, and I knew that our work together is evolving, and I didn't want to push that. I wanted to allow it to evolve.
Yeah, we're going in another direction.
No. Actually, this is good, because I see it sort of as foundationally to what it is, right? So, and I'm going to bring in a third lens. So hope to me it's a desire for something, right? I want to be a better person. I want more than what this is around my life, right? But the belief is the graduated step that's paired with action. So I can have all the hope in the world, but I do not move, right? But when I paired with action, when now that it's been translated to me, that's what belief is. It's like now I've hoped, but now I'm believing. And so how do you know that I believe it? Because you see it in everything I say and everything I do. And as I mentioned to Nancy, why I wanted you both on this show is I've been watching you. I needed to know that bringing the two, I knew Nancy and I know what she has done. And I looked at some of your independent work, but I needed to know that when I present you to my world stage, that the belief is shining through, not just in your words, but in the energy, in everything that's emanating. It's very evident that you are who you say you are. You're doing the work that you say you do, because it's showing up in your life every single day and how you're executing. And I just encourage people, if you're wondering, I don't know about this Nancy and Barry, do your homework. Go back, look at some of their videos, listen to what they say, and then look at how their lives have intersected and evolved to this point. So if you're looking for evolution in your life, whether it's in a relationship, finance, whatever it may be, these are, I believe, are the two people that can help you if you're at that place where you're feeling stuck and you just don't know what you don't know.
Thank you.
And so I want to thank both of you for saying yes, taking time out of your vacation to come and share. I want to ask you another question.
Okay.
And this is the big one. The I am formula. So we've gone through this hope. We've talked about vibration and energy and the intersectionalities and the synergy. What is the I am formula?
You want me to take it?
Go for it.
Okay.
You're good at it.
So going back to, we're coming together what will we bring to really support people in a different way, in an alchemy, as it were, of the combination of our gifts and our skills. So the I Am formula stands for the Iconoclast Affluence Matrix. So let me talk about what that's. A lot of big words. So an iconoclast is, we think of an icon, somebody who's a legend or a celebrity, but an iconoclast is somebody who forges forward, shattering old ways of being, paradigms and beliefs that don't work anymore. And for those people who are like, I want more, I want something different. We always hear what got you here won't get you there. We got to change our thinking and our paradigms to move to that next level. We have to choose to challenge our own way of being right here and all the things around us to move forward into something new. So iconoclasts, we work with and we support people who are ready to go to that next level. And the affluence is wealth and abundance and prosperity in all areas of your life. And matrix, we could talk about the matrix with Neo, red and blue pill and all that stuff. But simply put, the definition of matrix is an environment in where something thrives. So the iconoclast affluence matrix is the environment we've created for people to move forward, have affluence, and step into their highest way of being.
I just want to give people a really simple starting point because there's a lot in that. Like it takes a lot to unpack that.
Yeah.
And a simple starting point is to look at all the different aspects of your life. It could be career, relationships, health. There's always something that people say, I want this part to improve. And rather than trying to force something, and I agree with you about taking action. I think that is so important. Mm-hmm. The key word in front of that I would really want people to do is think about the word inspired action. Mm. Because sometimes if we just take action, when I take action, it's like, oh, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. And I keep crashing into the wall. And sometimes it is about taking a step, sitting back, meditating, and go, I've got this idea. And that meditation could be in the shower. I get my best ideas in the shower. It's like, oh, I've just had an idea. And that inspired action is what can break through looking at just one of those aspects of what Nancy's talking about and making one change. That's how it starts, by making one change on one thing, one change on another thing. And then somehow in doing that, my whole life is completely different to what it was 10 years ago. Completely different.
You know what you just said with the I Am formula, so iconoclast, affluent or affluence?
Affluence matrix. Affluence. It's a way of being. Affluence, yeah.
Matrix. So the number one step is you have to find willing participants, right? I am willing to break through these barriers. I'm willing to find out what my blocks are, because then if I'm open, then the work, the tools, the techniques, the spiritual shifts will work. But I have to be open, right?
Yes, open for sure. And here's a way to take a look at whether this might be a good thing for you, this I Am formula and the way we take people. If you have an area of your life and maybe you've written the affirmations or you set the goal and I'm going to go for it and I've got great intentions. If what you say you want is different than what you're actually experiencing, we should have a conversation.
Yes.
Because that's an indication right there that there's something happening beneath the surface that is in the way of what you say you want and what you're experiencing.
And I also see that the people who have been to us are people who know that they're here to make a difference on the world. Yeah, like I know I'm meant to make a difference, but my life doesn't reflect that. I'm not reflecting that, or nothing's actually happening. How can we break through those? I don't want to do what I've done all my life. I want to be different, and I don't know how to do that to make a positive impact on this planet.
And the other thing that comes to mind, LaWanna, and this goes to actually anyone who's watching this program right now. You are someone who understands the importance of continuous learning, of continuous knowledge, of feeding your mind and feeding your spirit to go to that next level, whatever it is. Like, I'm going to keep learning and studying and listening until I'm poof and I'm in not on this earth anymore.
Nancy and I are not going to retire. We can tell you that now.
Yeah.
We might, it's just not going to be, not in our vocabulary.
We might have more vacations.
We do pretty well.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
We're sitting on vacation
Yeah,
right now.
that is true. Okay. We went away for 2 months, traveled the world. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we
I think you got that down.
Okay.
But that simple analogy is huge. If you have this desire and you're doing the work and all this efforting is happening, but nothing is shifting, then call Nancy and Barry.
Yeah.
Because there's something amiss. And what I find in my clients, Nancy and Barry, is, and it's a point of frustration for me, I see so many entrepreneurs, especially women, they are putting so much work and so much energy, but then they never move forward. There's never any momentum. They're spinning. And they jump on the pivoting bandwagon or do the pivoting shuffle, but they're not going anywhere. They're literally at the financial place that they were 2, 3, 4 years ago. And so that tells me there's a block, there's something happening to cause them to still be stuck. I was shocked to see in today's economy here in the U.S., the average woman entrepreneur take-home pay is less than $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
The average, and that's like, and I think it's like 80% fall in that. But yet we put on the mask, right? We want everyone to think we're doing better than we are. And if we are there, if I'm wearing a mask, then am I really going to be open and call up Nancy and Barry to say, hey, I have a problem? Because then you see me for who I really am and not who I am expressing to the world.
Hey, listen, and we know that concept and that aspect, which, imposter syndrome, everything looks good, comparison, we know that has been heightened and exaggerated by social media. Because, most people, they make it look really good, their Insta reels and this and that, right? They're doing all of that. And you know what, LaWanna, I think that's, one of the things I love that you put out your when you go on your walks in the morning and you're sharing strategic insights, or you've been visiting with your family, like showing that we are real and we're not perfect.
Yeah, you see me in all my natural glory.
Yeah. I've been doing that too, right? When we were, it's like we don't need to be perfect. We need to be pure of heart.
Yes.
I also want to say there's a change on the planet at the moment as well. Like there is an energy change on the planet. And so a lot of people are saying to me, this used to work, but it's no longer working.
Yeah.
Or I used to be able to do it and now no longer happens this way. And for me, part of it is also having, and I'll go back to this spiritual foundation. If we've got a solid spiritual foundation, everything can grow on that. If we don't have a solid spiritual foundation, when the earth changes or the political climate changes over here, wherever it is, that we're able to pivot, but we're able to pivot consciously and with an awareness so that we're actually growing ourselves, and that grows our business, and that supports, at the end of the day, the people who we're helping. That's what this is about. It's about supporting people to shine.
Yes. Well, can you believe we are almost out of time?
Wow.
This has
We
been
just
great.
have to hang out again. We have to hang out again.
Yes. Well, I'd like you to take a few minutes and share with the audience a little bit more about the I am formula, anything that you have up and coming, and how they might be able to contact you.
Sure. Thank you.
I'd like to start by saying, welcome everyone for being here. I really appreciate that you are here and that you're actually here to listen to this. And Nancy and I, we've come together from opposite ends of the world, and we know that we are meant to be here to service other people, to help other people to find themselves, to be the absolutely best person that they can be, and for you to shine out in the world. And we can do that through our retreats and through this process, which we call the I am situation. So, Nancy, do you want us to share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So this I am formula, which is big words, iconoclast affluence matrix, is designed to explore what areas might you be not living your highest and best, and supporting you in breaking away from whatever's in the way. So we have identified these 7 different areas that we go through and give you the opportunity to create more ease, to create more flow. You know, one of the things that I kept hearing, and I know you did too, is, and I was told this for a long time, you can't have it all. Can't have a great relationship and a great career and raise your kids and take care of yourself. Like, you can't have it all, and you certainly can't have it all at the same time. And what we work through with you and guide you through is to clear whatever crap might be in the way, because you can have it all. And you can have balance and harmony and joy and find that in your lives. So we want to invite you to step inside the matrix with us. And we put together 2 videos for you. So one is a video for me where I want to guide you in connecting with your future self. And it's the future you that you wish for, dream about, or working towards. That future you who feels completely free in every way, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, mentally, completely free. So I've got this guided meditation and visualization to take you there. And then Barry is giving you an awesome meditation that I love to do myself.
So I recognize that we all have this sort of individual bank account, this etheric bank account, which I call the vortex bank account. And it's unlimited. So it's not like, well, if I get something, someone else is going to miss out. We have this bank account that has more money, more treasures in it than you can think of. And what this visualization does is, how do you access that and bring that into the physical world? How do we bring that in, not just for ourselves, but for everyone, so that the entire world benefits? And a very short meditation that has changed the lives, literally, of thousands of people.
So go ahead. We have the link for you here. Grab those gifts and then let us know. How's it going for you? What else would you like? Because you truly can have it all.
Wow, I love that. Two gifts from 2 powerhouses who are now united as one. Synergy in action, creating a partnership that changed the game. And Nancy and Barry are here to help guide you, to show you the way of how you can elevate your life, to have more impact, influence, and income, and just be the best you that you could possibly be, right?
And have fun in the process.
Have fun, travel the world.
We are having fun, I can tell you.
Awesome.
Well, thank you
Thank you so
very
much.
much.
Wonderful to meet you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you both on Choose to Challenge. I would love to have you back in about 6 months, see how things are going. Especially let me know when you're having your next retreat so we can start helping you promote that and get people signed up to be a part of the I Am formula. Love that.
Awesome. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. And to our listening audience, we look forward to seeing you next week for another edition of Choose to Challenge. And just remember, in life and in business, when your vision intersects with opportunity, like this opportunity that's been presented here by Nancy and Barry, the I Am formula, success is inevitable. Until next time, be blessed, be well. Bye, everyone.
Bye.